Welcome, friends of the Greasy Shop Rag. Today we're going to take a look at the new Husqvarna 450X chainsaw. This is going to be a 50cc farmer rancher grade saw with Autotune. Alright, this is what the saw looks like. Got a new cover on it. But this handle and even the fuel tank, I believe, are all left over from previous generations of the 450. This one's got a little scratch in it. Not too much different, but enough different to make it significant. And we're going to compare a few other models here. This one, you guys are buying these things faster than I can keep them in the showroom. This is the 450S. All right, this is the S, Rancher. And this is the X. X is Autotune. S is just the Smart Start. They both have Smart Start technology. And both look the same. And in fact, they're so much the same, you'll notice that this Autotune saw has got some features left over from the non-Autotune version, just so they could use the same starter. These are the same, just a different sticker. Now, is it the same as the 450 Rancher that's been around here for decades? Actually, one of our best-selling saws. No, it's not the same starter. You can see the difference in shape here. Quite different. These two interchange. This one doesn't. This handle, and this handle will all interchange. These three handles here will all interchange. I think the fuel tanks interchange as well. Let me check my cheat sheet. So the 450 E2 model will interchange along with the 445-2 and 445 E2. And those will fit both on the S and the X model as well. As far as the clutch cover goes, the S and the X are the same. This traditional Rancher is different. Okay, the clutch is the same on all three of these, but the drum is supposedly different on these two right here. Alright, as far as the crankcase goes, these two share a crankcase that's different than the original Rancher. The crank is the same in all three of these. The cylinder in the 450 Autotune, the X model, is different than the rest of these. And the piston is the same in the S and the X model. All right. These two new offerings from Husqvarna have the same piston, although this has got a different cylinder than this one. The flywheel and the coil in the X model Autotune are different. I mean, it's kind of obvious. But the mufflers are the same between these. So that's all we're going to cover as far as parts interchangeability between these three. What we really want to do is just look at this new Autotune 450. All right. So I did mention that they use this starter on both models, and that left a hole here for the idle adjustment screw. Do not try to put a screwdriver in here and turn anything. You can see a Phillips head screw in here, but it's not an adjustment. It's a screw that holds the Autotune module onto the carburetor. I don't know why they didn't come up with a plug or something, but I suppose it's easier to keep the interchangeability there. Let's look under the hood. Ooh, look at the fancy colors. All blue. I don't know why they did that, but that's what it is. This air filter shares a part number with both of the other models that we were looking at. Whether it be the mesh or the felt, you can interchange them. I see we have some wiring coming across the top here, and this is where our plug-in would be for dealer access to connect this to a computer and look at your runtime and error codes, whatever else you might have. Otherwise, this base looks pretty much normal. You know, we've got an Autotune carburetor on here, obviously. What else? We have a different coil here and a wiring harness, which this looks pretty nice. It's all right here. There's no weaving the wiring in and out or behind the flywheel or all kinds of other crazy things we've seen on other Husqvarna Autotune models. One thing I will say that is different about this model, and first I'm going to show you the 450. This is our choke lever stop switch. All right. When you push down, it's stopped. When you push it up, you have to pull it out and lift it up. It is now choked. This is a traditional carburetor, so that's the choke. You push it back down like this. It's still fast idle until you hit the trigger. You heard that click. So now it's not going to click. But when I set the choke and release it, you listen for the click right there. So that was fast idle feature on here. Let's look at the 450S. You'll notice this is a regular carburetor saw, same exact thing. To get it in a choke, you got to pull it out and lift it up. Same thing. This Autotune saw is different than anything I've seen from Husqvarna before. There's no pushing this up by pulling anything out. Down is stop, and we like that about Husqvarna. But in order to go up, instead of pulling it out, you push it in and go up. That's the stop, or that's the choke position. You see the difference? This is the 450S, and this is the 450X Autotune. And right here it says start. If you see an Autotune chainsaw from Husqvarna that says start, that's at least a version 3 Autotune. Meaning, this saw will run on full choke. Autotune will compensate. Anything that says stop with an arrow pointing down, anything that says stop up here with an arrow pointing, anything that says STOP right here, and I can't pronounce the word because my camera keeps shutting off when I say that word, but when it says this word right here, with an arrow pointing down, that's a Gen 2 or earlier Autotune. And it won't run on full choke. If you leave it on choke, it'll choke itself out and die. But a Gen 3, if you leave it on choke, it'll compensate. So that means that every time you go to start this saw, and you can see it right here, prime it, move the lever up, and pull till it starts. As opposed to prime it, or move the lever up, prime it, pull it till it pops, take it off of choke, pull it till it starts, right? Traditional, every other chainsaw in the world kind of starting procedure. All right, so that's new. All right, what else do we want to look at? I was in the workshop manual, and I noticed that there is the option for an adjustable oil pump. Now, a lot of you may know that there's always been markings on this fuel tank for oil adjustment. But when you look for the adjuster, there isn't one. And we'll go back to even this old, the original 450 has got those same markings on here because this tank was used on a lot of different models. But there's no oil adjustment here. I'm just going to wait for that air compressor to shut off. Hey, the compressor shut off. I just want to take a minute here to thank all the viewers for watching these videos and all the regular commenters that provide a lot of good feedback for the channel. Thank you much. So let's get back into this. All right, oil pump we were talking about. So all of the versions had this markings on this tank, but it wasn't an adjustable pump. Well, now you have the option for, I don't know, it's like 23 bucks maybe for the oil pump. And you got to have a new worm gear as well. But an adjustable oil pump is an option now on this saw. So this is what the old style pump looks like, just a piston and cylinder. But now they offer this as an accessory. And I'm pretty sure that I should probably order a bunch of these because a lot of you guys are going to want to put an adjustable pump on your 450. This saw will run from a 20-inch bar on down. And I know a lot of people have complained about oil feed and oil leaking. My real hope is that this style pump doesn't leak like this style pump. Even though the seal between this hose and the case was a leaking source, I know that these pumps, these piston pumps, bleed through. So maybe this adjustable pump will do a little better. Another thing that it said in the service manual is that you might have to do a little filing right here in this area. Right in through here, maybe down here, in order to get this to fit right. I find it really interesting that Husky will, they want to accommodate us and offer an adjustable pump. Hey, this is what we got. You might have to modify it a little bit, knock yourself out. I like that. All right. I think that's about all I'm going to have on the new Husqvarna 450X chainsaw. This has been a very popular model. I would think that it's going to fill the void. You know, this is being smart start. I tell you, if someone walked in the door and they wanted something that was easy to start and they wanted it to be 50 cc's, I was kind of pushing them towards the Echo product. They just seemed easier to start. Well, that's not going to happen anymore because this X model and the S model, they start so easily. This is going to be a real popular saw with people that don't have a lot of power in their arm and shoulder and don't have a lot of technical knowledge on how a choke works. Now, they might know what a choke does, but, a lot of times it's like, well, is this a warm start or is this a cold start? Where do I put the lever? And this kind of eliminates that problem. Every time you go to start this saw, you go like that, and you got it primed. You just pull till it starts. Once it's starting, you can hit the throttle. So that's going to be nice. So that's all I'm going to have for you on the Husqvarna 450X Autotune chainsaw. Thanks for watching. Later.